Suzuka staged round 16 of the Formula One World Championship, the Japanese Grand Prix. Michael Schumacher of Ferrari came here needing 2 second places to win his 3rd title, or an outright victory at Suzuka would confirm it for him. Ferrari had not won the title since Jody Scheckter back in 1979. Michael Schumacher took pole position, 7th of the season, by .009 from his nearest championship challenger, Mika Hakkinen of McLaren. Michael Schumacher having won here in 1995 and 97. Mika Hakkinen, the defending champion, having won here in 1998 and 1999. Behind the 2 championship protagonists on the front row came respective teammates David Coulthard and Rubens Barrichello. It was an all-Williams row 3 with Jenson Button out-qualifying his teammate Ralf Schumacher. On row 4 came Eddie Irvine in the Jaguar with 6-point finishes in 7 Japanese Grand Prix. Heinz-Harald Frentzen joined him there. Jacques Villeneuve and Johnny Herbert made up row 5. Race scheduled for 53 laps of the 3.6 mile, 5.8 kilometre circuit. At the start, Michael Schumacher from pole moved across to try to shadow the move of Mika Hakkinen, but couldn't prevent the Finn from diving through into the lead by the first corner. It was Hakkinen first, Michael Schumacher second. Rubens Barrichello lost ground on the opening lap and dropped from 4th to 6th. Even on that first lap, he was an incredible 5 seconds behind Mika Hakkinen. Just out of the points, Villeneuve and Herbert. Villeneuve going past the Jaguar driver in his penultimate Grand Prix. First retirement, Jos Verstappen, the Dutchman in the Arrows. But on lap 9, it was Mika Hakkinen leading the way, and over 20 seconds already covering the top 6. Eddie Irvine into the pits from 5th place, this on lap 16. The midfield was bunched so tightly in the early stages of this race that Irvine, as a result of this stop, dropped from 5th to 10th. Villeneuve was rapidly making up ground. Having gone past Irvine, he's now attacking the Williams of Jenson Button. Button coming towards the end of a promising Formula One debut season. Johnny Herbert coming towards the end of a Formula One career that promised much but didn't realise total potential. Hakkinen still out in front, coming round the spoon curve. Michael Schumacher kept him within 2 seconds. A flurry of pit stops on lap 18. Alexander Wurz, Mika Salo and Nick Heidfeld, all in the pit lane at the same time. Out on the track, Michael Schumacher slipped to 2.5 seconds behind Mika Hakkinen. Ferrari ready for a pit stop. Alesi spinning into retirement. It looked as though Alesi, the most experienced man in Formula One, is about to end this first season with Prost with his first blank in his long career. Rubens Barrichello into the pits. The benchmark for Michael Schumacher, 6.7 seconds. Barrichello stayed in 4th place. Button into the pits at the same stage. 7.8 seconds stationary for him. Alexander Wurz, bit of grass tracking, still managed to get back on the circuit. Hakkinen, race leader, in at the end of lap 22. David Coulthard and Michael Schumacher moved ahead of him. 6.8 seconds for Hakkinen. Could Ferrari and Schumacher match that? End of lap 23, Schumacher in the pits. They couldn't. 7.4 seconds. Advantage McLaren by 0.6. Schumacher emerged. Hakkinen flashed by on the straight. It was Coulthard leading, Hakkinen second. Michael Schumacher now in 3rd place. Next pit stop at McLaren, David Coulthard in from 1st on lap 24. Another good stop by McLaren, the best yet, 6.6 seconds. But Coulthard down in 3rd place. Out of the race, Heinz-Harald Frentzen. Just 1 year ago, Frentzen had been a challenger for the championship. Gap between Häkkinen and Schumacher came down once more. Schumacher almost out of the race, nearly colliding with Zonta. Häkkinen into the pits at the end of lap 37. Once again, McLaren under pressure. 7.4 seconds. The rain started to come down. Ross Brawn and Jean Tot's tactics were about to be tested. Michael Schumacher swept past both Jaguars. Then almost catastrophe. Wirtz broadside across the track. Schumacher saw him at the last moment. Into the pits, end of lap 40. 6 seconds, the fastest pit stop of the day. Michael Schumacher down towards the pit exit as Mika Häkkinen came round the final bend. But it was Michael Schumacher who slotted neatly into first place. Ferrari's strategy had paid off. Michael Schumacher was suddenly heading towards the driver's title. For his brother Ralph, though, disaster. On a slippery surface, he slid out of contention. Michael Schumacher pushed on towards the finish, chased all the way by Mika Häkkinen. The full 10 points picked up by Schumacher ensured his third driver's title and Ferrari's first since 1979. Sheer delight in the cockpit of the Ferrari and celebrations for Ferrari supporters all over the world. Michael Schumacher, the winner, in a fraction under 1.5 hours in very tricky conditions. Michael Schumacher, with a 12-point lead in the Drivers' Championship, couldn't now be overhauled by Mika Häkkinen, David Coulthard and Rubens Barrichello, third and fourth, Ralf Schumacher and Giancarlo Fisichella making up the top six. All of which left 6 drivers without a point so far this season, with just 1 race to go. John Alesi, Nick Heidfeld, Gaston Mazzacane, Marc Genet, Johnny Herbert and Pedro Diniz, all yet to get off the mark. What a contrast with the mood in the Ferrari camp. At last, the driver's title had come home to Maranello. Michael Schumacher leading the way in the title race. Ferrari leading the way in the Manufacturers' Championship by 13 points with 1 race to go, with a maximum of 16 points on offer in Malaysia. Just the outside possibility that McLaren could deny Ferrari their 10th Manufacturers' title. Michael Schumacher, Formula One World Champion for the year 2000. Congratulated by his teammate Barrichello and by the ever sportsmanlike Mika Häkkinen. Häkkinen may well have lost the driver's crown, but he still was gracious enough in defeat. Rubens Barrichello played a major part. Michael Schumacher made sure that everyone in the Ferrari team was aware of his worth. Classification, Michael Schumacher with his 3rd successive win and his 8th of the season, the 43rd victory of his career. Mika Häkkinen denied a hat-trick of championships. Ultimate disappointment for David Coulthard. Rubens Barrichello, 4th in the race, 4th in the championship, and promise of much more to come from the likes of Jenson Button and Jacques Villeneuve. For Michael Schumacher, the driver's title for Ferrari. Schumacher succeeding where others like Alain Prost and Nigel Mansell had tried but failed. So to the illustrious list of Ferrari title winners, men like Ascari, Hawthorne, Phil Hill, Surtees, Lauda and Scheckter, add Michael Schumacher. A fine victory at Suzuka, a triumph of tactics for a very well-drilled Ferrari team.
It's difficult to find proper words for such feeling. I mean, there was such an outbreak of emotion initially when I crossed the line. I mean, this conditions were difficult today. The rain, no rain, little bit more. The upgoing, the downgoing through the season, and then finally achieve it with a victory. The way we did it in, a fight until the last corner, thanks to Mika. Could have done it a bit easier for me. It's simply outstanding, and no words for it to explain it any better.
No doubt at all about the importance of this win for Ferrari.
It's simply great. I mean, imagine what is going on right now in Italy. That must be simply amazing.
Second place for Mika Häkkinen.
He's done the best possible job this year. We weren't able to do it, so naturally I feel a bit disappointed, but same time I feel I have won 2 years in a row in 98, 99, so life continues and racing continues. We have to keep fighting, and I'm sure we will see exciting races in the future too.
Another man who'll have to keep fighting, David Coulthard.
I had a very quiet race from the start. Didn't really have too much of a battle, and it was just a question of trying to keep the car on the track in what were very difficult conditions.
Let the celebrations begin! And the celebrations did begin. A magnificent champagne fight between Michael Schumacher and Jean Todt ended once again in favour of the driver, the new world champion. Still unfinished business for Ferrari. At Malaysia, they could collect their 10th Constructors' title in Formula One.
Once again, would you please now leave the grid, please now leave the grid, remember, we have 56 strategies could always change. So the equipment has been dragged off the grid. And just not similarly people around the cars on the grid. 22 cars taking part in this interesting Malaysian Grand Prix. 56.
We wanted to win this race. We did it. A very tough race, very tight race. I mean, DC really pushed from the first to the last lap. So did I, and that meant a flat-out race, very, very tough physically, car-wise, and everything. And yeah, we did it. We won the Constructor Championship after all. Not by just taking 3 points, by winning and becoming third. That's just, I think, the right result, what the team deserves.
Race drive. The Prime Minister presents the trophy to David Coulthard.
At the end of the race in the weigh-in, we saw you having a quick word with Michael. What did you say?
Well, to be honest, I was just apologising to Michael for the year. You know, we've had some differences, and I'm embarrassed that sometimes I was maybe saying things too publicly and not going to talk to him face to face. And it was just really to we're at the end of the season, to apologise for that and to say he's a great champion, and I look forward to competing against him next season.
And finally, the Prime Minister presents the trophy to third place, Rubens Barrichello.
I was worried at the beginning of the race because, you know, my conditions were not great, but the car felt great the whole time, and you know, I could keep quite well the pace. I lost time on my second pit stop due to the fact that I couldn't get first gear, which was a shame because I was closer to the battle. But I'm pleased. My season went very well, and to finish a strong third position in this race means, you know, we're going to start next year in a good position as well.
The